Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Terratech with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to our first video building with the brand new skins. Today we are going to be starting off with Venture. Now sadly, I don't have all that much time, it is the holiday season, and this will be the last chance I have to record. I don't have that long, but I really want to build something, and the idea I have is a flying car. For some reason, I just haven't built one of those in the past, and I think I've got an idea which is going to look really nice and be really, really fun to use. Now, I'm also going to be building a plane using the Venture colour scheme, but I'll be doing that after the holidays, just so I can spend more time on it and make something really good, which we could perhaps use in the campaign. But hopefully, today's video will turn out well anyway. So, one thing to mention first of all, though, is this. It turns out I actually missed one of the different models when I was going over all the new skins. So the Venture light bar does have a unique model if you're using the new skin, which I think is very, very pretty. But now, let's get to work on building this. So I'm thinking, is that we use, where are you, these smaller tail wings, both on the front and on the back, and this will give the appearance of a race car, but also, it will allow us to control pitch, and it will allow us to fly. And then for some extra momentum, we use things like the Venture Zero propellers, and perhaps some of the smaller thrusters hidden within. And then just have a single gyro, so we don't need to make it so balanced. And that's it. That's all of the flying elements we're going to use. Everything else is going to still be car-related. I want it to be a car first and foremost, with the ability to fly if absolutely necessary. I also really want to use these, the larger F1 wheels, just because I never use them. So, let's get to work then. And I do want this to be combat viable, so we are going to be using the avalanche launchers or perhaps the cannons, something like that, along with shields and batteries and everything else. I want this to be a completely viable build. So, let's get to work. Now, currently, on the Steam store page, if you go to the DLC, which this skin is being shown off on, you do actually see a car of a similar style to what we're going to be building today, but it is much smaller. It's only using the smaller wheels, and I think it's only 1 or 2 wide, or 1 or 2 thick at least. Actually, I think it's only 1 or 2 wide as well. It's very small. So we are building a much scaled up version to that, but there is certainly going to be a lot of similarities. So I'm thinking something like this, but then I would like the back wheels to perhaps be a bit further out, but no, that would look a little bit unnatural. So let's just keep on building backwards for now. Let's see, so that's going to be a little bit too big, I think. So where do the other wheels go here then? I'm thinking there. About that size? Yep, and then we're going to add some wings to the front, which will act to make it look a bit more balanced, and to make it look a little bit more realistic, which is something I'm not particularly good at in general. But how are we going to do that? So I think maybe I should bring the cab a bit further forwards. Though I do like this as it is, it kind of looks stuck on, which I really like. Underneath, we can start adding all the batteries and everything else, but I'll do that last. No, that looks a little bit weird. What if we have one of these, and then underneath that, we have the wings. Originally, I was thinking about putting the wings here, on the top, and then going underneath, but instead, we can mimic how this looks. Yeah, the front spoiler. So we have the wings a little bit lower down, though actually on this, the wings are sort of in the middle. Well, they're not wings, but you know what I mean. Not too sure about that. So with the new skin, how will this look? A little bit bigger than I thought, actually. That's not horrendous. And we can control pitch as well, since I've already been messing around with the controls here. So now we have pitch here, where normally the regular car doesn't have that option. So if we're going fast enough, then we pitch. Whoa, that is way more powerful than I thought. But to be fair, we are also very, very light. Yeah, I think maybe all this should be pushed forward a little bit. But actually, yeah, I can't tell if I like that or not. Okay, for now we'll keep it as it is, and as we continue to build, we'll see if it looks balanced by the end. This is actually turning out a little bit smaller than I originally intended, which I'm not a massive fan of. Now here's the question, do we stick completely with Venture, so we're using the Venture shield bubbles, or do we splash out to Hawkeye just for the bubbles, since we can hide them underneath? Not sure, since this isn't meant to be a pure build, I may go with Hawkeye, but for now we'll leave it as it is. So next up then, I want propellers, and I want some hidden thrusters. So thrusters straight away, we could just put right here. Don't need many of them, just a little bit. Just to make sure we can get to a decent speed. Wow, at the moment this is completely uncontrollable. Oh, what we could do is perhaps have a tail wing like this. Wow, that has instantly improved it. Okay, yep, we are definitely using these, perhaps a couple of them. Maybe that's how we'll do the back. Rather than having another one of these, which was the original plan, perhaps we can have 2 sets of the tail wing, so one up, one to the side, one up, one to the side, and have them sort of here-ish. Now, is this going to be a little bit too close or not? If I maybe put it like this, then up. No, that's going to be way too high. If I then go to the side again, that's going to be really weird looking. Not too sure how I want to do this. Okay, I think for now, we're going to leave this at this level, and we'll just see how it turns out. I really should do quick builds like this more often. It certainly helps out a lot when designing other things later on. Okay, that actually looks really nice. I was a little bit worried about this skin, but actually that's fine. With the regular model, I actually think the new model looks a bit more natural than that, so that is fine. Stick with the paint, swap back over. There we go. And how does that look? That looks alright, actually. Now it should be a lot more balanced. Whoa, it's actually really difficult to turn this. Well, that's a problem. Well, it's okay when you're not moving forwards. Hopefully, as we add the propellers, that will compensate, but I'm not sure if it will. So with the propellers, we can either use the smaller propellers, but I'm thinking we use one of the larger versions just because I love how these look. Yeah, like that. Okay, we can now turn. And we are faster. Whoa! Note to self, need to balance it more. At the moment, if I try and fly with this, I'm just gonna lose all control. Actually, no! Okay, we achieved flight a lot easier than expected. But I'm assuming if I try and turn, this is gonna go... Yeah, it'll start to roll. So I think we need at least one very low-level gyroscope, so a venture gyro. That's gonna be okay. I don't like these connection points being so exposed, though. But other than that, I quite like how this is turning out. Definitely borrowed a lot from the image on the store page, at least for this section here. That's why I sort of skipped over that little bit, I just built it instantly. But I love how this is turning out. Okay, so then. Let's start adding our batteries and everything else to the bottom then. Let's go with a basic gyro first of all. Let's see how that affects everything. Just one of them. Wow, that is so much easier to control. It's difficult to explain when you're not the one controlling it, but yeah, that's fine. So if we try and turn now, we can. Not great, but the gyro will eventually get us back on track. And what I like is we're definitely slower in the air than we are on the ground. So you only use the airborne mode if you absolutely need to. There's our thrust gun, so we definitely need some more fuel. And then we can slowly descend. That is great. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, now let's make this viable for the campaign. I probably won't use this in the campaign, sadly, because it is using missiles, and I don't think the regular weapons will be good enough, because this thing is going to be really frail. Even if I put batteries all down here, which I don't really want to do, I don't really want to weigh it down that much, it can't really stand in a fight for too long. Although I guess you could use things like the needle laser. Because that has really good range. Maybe. For now, we stick with the avalanche missiles. Not sure if I'm happy with this section here. How would just this look? Then I changed that to look like that. Oh, no, that looks significantly worse. Never mind, that's going to stay as it is. Yeah, it just looks a little bit too disconnected. I would like this to look a bit sturdier, so I'm going to look into some options of changing that up in a while. Now, wheels there or wheels there? Definitely the original section. Just need to do something to the bottom there to make it look, again, a little bit sturdier, a bit more like it's not going to fall apart in 5 seconds. Okay, so where am I going to put the fuel? Ah, putting it down here means it's going to be really vulnerable, especially as we land. Any chance that's not going to break everything? That's great. So I'll put the fuel in there, right next to the cab. Again, this thing, vulnerable, I understand. Put 2 pods in there. That should give us a lot of fuel time. At least enough to get airborne. Okay, yep, that's plenty of time for a good boost. We have a decent speed anyway, so I don't need to use that all the time. Then, we need batteries and shields. I think I will go with the Hawkeye shield, just because it's so much easier. That will easily cover this entire vehicle. Then let's add some batteries. I'll stick with the Venture stuff, because they're nice and light. And, of course, I just want to use as much Venture as possible. Which is the main reason. How's that going to look? That looks okay, actually. Yeah, that sort of looks like the main structure. In fact, I'm tempted to put another one there. Although this one will have to be backwards. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Got this middle section here, which I guess I can use for the repair bubbles. We could use just the regular ones for that. That there. That there. Okay, we do have this space here. Is there anything else we need? Just more batteries, I suppose, would be good. That's a surprising amount of batteries we managed to fit in there. Still don't think it's going to be very sturdy, but let's see. How much has this affected our speed and our handling? Not that much. Ooh, actually, you can feel it when it tries to fly. That has drastically reduced the ability to fly. Unless you use the thrusters. And they are going to take some damage when we land. That is an issue. How do we land safely? Like that. Okay. Let's get somewhere with some energy so we can see where the batteries and the repair bubbles are. Hello there. Yeah, that shield is perfectly fine. That's healing all the front. And that is, I think, just about covering everything. How about landing like this? Yep, no damage taken. One more time. A bit too far back. That's going to take some getting used to, but I feel like as long as I play okay, that shouldn't be too bad. The issue is I rarely play well. That looks okay. Don't like how this is so sharp looking, but if I remove this now, everything's going to fall off, isn't it? Yep. Thank you, undo button. At this point, I think I'm near enough done, honestly. I can't think of much else I can really add to this vehicle. This has been loads of fun. Just a really quick build, just messing around. It's only took about 40 minutes so far, and honestly, some of that was setting up the recording software. It's been a real treat, but I can't think of anything else I really want to add to this thing. So, let's give it a quick test in one of the different biomes. Let's go with something horrible, like the mountains. The reason why I say that is because this has almost no ground clearance. It's clearly built for things like the salt flats and the grasslands. I can imagine we're going to take a lot of damage here unless we're really careful with our speed. Yep, even then, we just took a little bit there. Being really careful, but we do kind of float as well on the sharp edges. This thing is not at all made for this environment. But that is why we have the capability to fly. So, we can simply go straight through it. And then as soon as we get past all of this, we get to the flat land over here, which we'll just pretend is a salt flats. And then we'll try to land this thing decently. Probably should slow down. No damage taken, and so we continue our journey. Lovely. Let's try the regular grasslands. Let's see if we can actually go through some kind of biome without being hurt. Is that salt flats? I mean, the salt flats do have very small hills. Yeah, we're fine here. Really small bumps like that aren't really going to hurt us. I can see myself taking some damage every now and again, but very rarely, and as long as we have some battery, we'll be fine. And once again, we can always just fly over things. But at least that means we can stay on the ground for large areas like the salt flats. Let's try out grass. Playground? What's playground? But first, I'm being distracted. Oh, it's this. Okay. Never mind. Grass. As long as we watch our speed, yeah, this is fine. I think I've seen myself take damage 3 times now total. Oh, ignoring the fact I'm hitting trees so I can't drive properly. There goes a 4th time. So yeah, grasslands will take a little bit of damage, but not all that much. And once again, we can just fly over things. So with that, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's video, and this will likely be the last Terratech video for about a week or so, as now I am going to be taking up all of my time with my family and friends. It is indeed the holiday season. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Terratech is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. And tell me, what build should I do next? In this little mini quick build series with all the new skins. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it, something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, have a lovely holiday season, and goodbye.